Yeah, 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 yeah. Look, 'cause all my brothers kings and all my sisters queens. Pay attention. Cut out the middleman, gotta pick a side, can't be lukewarm. They ain't gon' sympathize or take bribes, they got news for 'em. I want a new body talking glorified in its true form. I get them baptized, devils pissed off, they done grew horns. I'm sipping alkaline, 10 and 5 second Corinthians mastermind. Demons I have to bind, now we're straight to get bumping the calamine. The cannon is photon, positive charge, I'm a proton. The trials been together like Voltron. Toast with the young, that's post-on. It's a feast so the children have more fun. I'm powered up like I'm Gohan, now I'm powered up like I'm Yasha. Snap like a gator Lacosta. Fazoli turn minions to pasta. On the corner we preaching the gospel. Matthew 18 we silence the gossip. A confusion the father, no author. Fins and scales if it come out the water. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Decline of America morally, socially, economically, and politically. Why isn't there anyone in the black community talking about solutions? Are you convinced that now is the time to start planning and preparing to leave America for Africa? Do you need solid proof that making this move is in line with the scriptures and the will of Yah? Look no further. The time has finally come for another conference put together by Hebrews to Negroes, creator Ronald Dalton Jr., and truth music artist Lorvins, hosted by Morezuma Yahu of Seventh-day Harvest Teaching Ministry. The Leave America Behind 3-day conference will take place in Archdale, North Carolina from December 27th through December 29th, 2024. This conference will be like no other as we will be addressing current problems in the Black Hebrew community and offering realistic solutions. Also on the last day of the conference, Ron Dalton Jr. will be premiering his new documentary movie, Hebrews to Negroes 3, Sound the Alarm, Gog and Magog's army versus the Israelites. With everything that is going on in America, you definitely do not want to miss this conference. Now is the time for a call to action. The Bible says in the book of Proverbs, "A prudent person foresees danger and takes precautions, and the foolish does nothing and suffers the consequences." Register today for tickets at www.thenegronetwork.com. For vendors and any inquiries, email us at hebrewstonegroes@yahoo.com.
Shalom, family. Shalom, shalom, shalom. I'd like to welcome you. It's been a while. I'd like to welcome you to this platform, Hebrew Descendant Channel. Listen, we are excited about today, especially today, because we have someone waiting backstage to speak. And I can't wait to hear him. He is the author of Hebrews to Negroes, Wake Up Black America. He is also the author of 4 books and about three movies, if I'm not mistaken. And he's got a new one that's out. We're looking forward to hearing that on today. I'm talking about none other than Dr. Ronald Dalton Jr. Hallelujah. All praises to the Most High. What's up, my brother?
Hey, what's up? Shalom. Good to be here.
Man, it's good to have you here. Hallelujah. Listen, we've been working towards getting you on this platform for a minute now. I know you've been busy with everything that's going on around you. I know that, and you correct me if I'm wrong, you're no longer in the States. You have moved to Africa, right?
Yeah, I'm in South Africa right now.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. So how is it there?
It's peaceful here. It's a black continent, so it's black people, black cops. I mean, you have your white cops every now and then, but it's just you know, you're around black people all day long. So you don't have, it's less racial profiling, less racism. Nobody's looking at you crazy if you have dreadlocks or cornrows, or if you're light skinned, dark skinned, brown skinned. I mean, it's Africa, so this is the motherland. So you just feel more at home here and more at peace. And it doesn't snow in Africa, at least where I'm at. So I don't get cold. I just be hot sometimes. So that's it. It's nice.
So, bro, let me ask you this: a lot of people um, that I come across, they when I mention about the continent, when I mention about Africa, and about relocating, moving from uh, the United States, which is a familiar place, to an unfamiliar place, the question arises: why would you leave from one colonized uh, uh, land to a whole nother colonized land? So, what would be your reply to that?
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, I don't. When I'm in America, I feel uh, I just feel like the spirit in America is a spirit of oppression and and captivity, and with all the GMOs, the chemtrails, the vaccine push that they did in America, all the control, all the just looking at the hilarious elections and how that went down, and we just look around, look at social media, look at the the sexual immorality that's on the rise, and it's not stopping. The lack of love, jealousy, envy. I'm out to get mine. It's about me. I'm not worried about you. There's a
Right,
lot of things that in America I just I'm just like, man, this is not the boogie. And in Africa, you can own land, you can have a house, and it may be a big house, a small house, it may be a small house or a hut. But at the end of the day, the guy that lives in a small house, or we might call it a hut, he's never gonna have to worry about the bailiff coming to kick him out because he didn't pay his property taxes or his
right,
water bill. He don't have to worry about that. He doesn't have to worry about the things we worry about. If he has the money, he can get a borehole and have free water. He can use the sunlight to generate electricity. He doesn't need a gas heater. He doesn't need a furnace. He doesn't need these things because it's hot.
right,
So essentially, living in Africa, you can go back to living like the old way and be less dependent on the government and these systems. And then it's just Africa. Time moves slow here. People are not really in a rush like we are in America. And people, they, people want to just live free here. And a lot of the Gentiles come here to live free, and they come here to make money because they understand the model of starting a business. You're going to need workers and you're going to need consumers. And they
right,
know that the black man and woman is the main customers of the world. In America, we're like the people spending all the money in America, $1 trillion. And they understand that in Africa, because of the internet and TV and Netflix and Amazon, that we in Africa want to experience the same things that people in other countries have. So we're willing to work these jobs for the Gentiles, making chump change, and then try to have a piece of the what you might call the American dream, uh, And all the while, the Gentiles are just raking in millions and millions of dollars, and and not only living free, they're living a life of luxury and paradise. They don't have to do anything because they have maids to clean the house, to wash the clothes, to tend to the garden, tend to cut the grass, landscaping, maintain the pool, make sure it's nice and clean every day. Get the mail, get the groceries, drive you around. I mean, everything. The Gentiles,
Right.
Gentiles literally don't have to do. If they got a business, they will have Black people doing everything here. From the time they wake up out the bed, the coffee is made, the tea is made, breakfast is made. The kids need to go to school. Okay, there's a driver taking the kids to school. There's a driver picking them up from school. So
Yeah.
everything that Gentiles need, it's here, and it reminds me of a plantation in a sense. But we're not. Black people are not enslaved in Africa. It's just that the Gentiles have understood that all we got to do is come over here with our money and work together and be united and look out for our nation, and everything else will fall in line because we're working together. We're using group economics, and the Black people here, if we need to hire employees and we put a sign that says now hiring, they're going to get applications all day long because there's unemployment here in Africa. There's a young population here, and if you say I'm hiring, they're going to come. And then if you have a product that the people need and they want, they're going to buy. And it's
Yeah.
just like this is every day. Cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. The credit cards every day. Cha-ching, cha-ching. Approved, 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 approved. Transactions approved every single day. And that means that every single day when the transactions are approved on their little speed point or the cash register, that their bank account is increasing every day. Every day is increasing. While they're sleeping, it's increasing. They're sleeping, it's increasing. They're waking. I mean, it can be in Botswana, it can be in Zimbabwe, it can be in Thailand. I was talking to a guy. He worked for a pool company, a Black guy, and he told me how much he made a month working for the pool company. And he said that like the week ago, he said all of the owners, all the management and the owners went on a 3-week vacation into like some of these islands, like Bali, Thailand, the Philippines, in a 5-star resort. And 3 weeks they were gone, just left South Africa. And I said, are the people that went in management and the supervisors and the CEOs, were any of them Black? And he said, no, the Black people stayed behind and they're working right now. He said, all the people that left are the Gentiles. And they have the ability to do that because while they're gone in another country having a vacation, the Black people are in Africa working, making the money.
Right.
So, and we just have to, use the land that's here and the amount of people that's here. We just fail, like in America, like in the Caribbean, we fail to stick together. That's we don't have no unity, and that's why we are behind.
So man, I hear so much of falsehood concerning the continent. Um, can you give us some clarity on, because we hear so many things about, the raping, the pillaging, it's desolate land, nothing but jungle. There's no real civilization. Uh, pe- People are still running through the continent butt naked. Uh, uh, just crazy
No,
stuff. Can you kind of, before we even get into some of the main stuff of this interview, can you kind of clear the air about the misnomers of the continent?
yeah, the Bantu people who are the Israelites, and they have our DNA, and we came from the Bantu lands. They're not running around butt naked. Uh, they got clothes. They got clothes. They got shoes. They got jewelry. They got haircuts. I mean, they're getting their hair done. They're getting their nails done. They're getting, they get massages and pedicures and manicures. I mean, I mean, no matter what country you go to, in
Right.
sub-Saharan Africa, they got clothes on. They're not running
Yeah.
around butt naked, and they're not swinging in trees. Africa uh, is a land of animals. Yes. So if you go outside of the cities, yeah, you're gonna see lions, you're gonna see hyenas, and you see elephants and rhinos and giraffes and impalas and horses and all types of things. But and livestock. But in the cities, you're gonna see buildings, internet, electricity, roads, traffic lights, sewer systems. You're going to see all the things that you have in America. It's not like you come here and you just have to grow. You need a garden in order to eat. No, they got grocery stores here that you can go to eat, and they have movie theaters. They have uh, shopping malls. They got pharmacies and car washes and things of that nature. So it's all it's all here. Nairobi, Kampala, Johannesburg and Kinshasa and Lagos and Accra. It's all the big cities in the major cities are going to have these things. So it's not like that here, and colonization ended, so it's not like the white man is running the show completely. We do have people that are puppets in Africa that are doing the interests of the global elite and colonial powers. But at the end of the day, that's everywhere. I mean, we look at Ukraine, Russia, Israel, Palestine, Lebanon, United States, Canada, Jamaica. You're going to see the Gentiles behind the scenes pulling the strings because they control a good piece of the economy. So here, you are winning with your dollar exchange rate. The dollar is stronger in Africa. For instance, today I went and I got four T-bone steaks, for $6. $6. Four
Wow.
T-bone steaks. If you want to get one T-bone steak, it's $1.33. It's $1.33. You want to get like a thing of garlic potatoes, then it's like a dollar. You want to get juice, it's like $1.50. Like things are real cheap here.
That's
Uh,
crazy.
yeah, if you want to eat chicken or fish or beef or steak or lamb, it's cheap. It's cheap, and so if you're a meat eater, they got meat here to eat, and then you just add your vegetables and your starch and water, and that's it. Your meal is going to cost you probably $5, maybe $10 tops, and that meal is going to be a good meal. And if you've got a lot of kids like I do, you need to be in a place where the food is cheap, and it's cheap in Africa until the dollar collapses. When the dollar collapses, then we're on the same playing field in terms of cash as they are. Because the dollar is what we use to buy things over here until we're making money in the country in Africa. So buying land, buying property, starting a business. All these things are going to be at your advantage if you're coming with the dollar from America, and that's what the Gentiles have figured out easily over here. The euro, the pound, the dollar. They know that even the money in Arabia, like the dinar, these things are high value, even more than the dollar. The dinar, the Kuwaiti dinar, and some of these Middle Eastern currencies in the Gulf states, they're stronger than the dollar. So
Right.
imagine coming over here with that money, man, they are cleaning up big time because their money is like way stronger over here, and they come over here buy land, they buy property, they start businesses, they get franchises. They're building mosque and community centers, and the Muslims are here, the Jews are here, the Arabs are here, the Chinese, the East Indians, the Russians, the Pakistani, the Europeans. They're all here. They're in Africa. I mean, we're just African Americans are just we're missing everything. We're missing everything.
It seems like
Sad.
we are. It seems like there is. I mean, to hear you describe it, it's like a whole nother world compared to what we've been told and what we've been shown on TV.
Mhm.
It's totally the opposite.
It's the
Um,
opposite.
yeah, it's just it shows the whitewashing, because at the end of the day they don't really want us to know and to be in touch with our heritage, our culture. And speaking of that, you are the number one, and I've been reading up on um, um, Amazon. You are like the number one author of Hebrews to Negroes. I've looked at your status, and you went from having two, 2.5, three. Now it's 4.5 stars, close to five.
Right.
Um, um, have you received any kind of um turbulence uh, from releasing these books, let alone the movies?
Uh, yeah. Since the Kyrie incident, a lot of stuff has happened. Um, they when the Kyrie incident happened, everybody that called from the mass media, they didn't want an interview. They wanted to know. They wanted to know who's funding you, and how did you make the movie? Uh, how much did it cost? And did Kyrie or Kanye contact you? And they were asking specific questions. And immediately after that, I got banned from YouTube. I got banned from Clubhouse. I got banned from GoFundMe. I was in America at the time, and my Airbnb account got suspended. My book publisher, she tried to send me my royalties payment, and the Chase Bank told her that they couldn't send it because I'm a security risk. And then Cash App took away my search. When you search my Cash App, for most people that have never sent money to me, they when they send the money, or when they try to put in my Cash App ID, it says no results found. And they say,
Wow.
Ryan, we don't see you. And I said, yeah, well, send me your Cash App, and then I'll give you $1, and then you'll have it. You'll see it right there. And they'll say, well, why can't we find it on the search? I said, because they did some trickery. Even people that try to zele money, sometimes they'll say the bank says it's projected, it's returned, it's suspicious, it's fraud, it's security risk. Try a different way, and they could and they will like say, Ron, but we sent it before, and now they're saying that we can't send it anymore. And I say, well, these are the kind of obstacles that they have placed uh, in my way. And at the time, I had a company that was making my DVDs for like 5-6 years. And then after the Kyrie incident, they said that they could no longer do business with me. And I said, after 5 years of making my DVDs, Hebrews to Negroes, and you're making money, I'm making money because I'm putting the DVDs on Amazon. After 5 years, you guys decided now you're going to tell me you can't do business with me anymore. And they say, I'm sorry, but the content of the movie, we typically don't watch the films that we get, because at the end of the day, we get a lot of people needing to publish their CDs and DVDs, they're, on a physical disc, and we don't have the time to sit down and watch every movie, every MP4, every MP3 wave file. We don't have the time to listen to it, to know what's the content on the album that we're printing on a CD. We don't have the time for that. But after the Kyrie incident, either they had the time or somebody called them and said, "Hey, you guys need to stop producing these DVDs for Ron Dalton. Stop it right now." And they did that. They stopped it, and I had to scurry to find another company that would make the DVDs on a mass level. And so, they are trying to ban the movie here in South Africa. The ADL tried to get the movie taken down on Amazon in with laws and anti-Semitic hate speech, but they couldn't do it. But doesn't mean that they're not trying to do it, because they know at the end of the day, the issue was, it's not about that Kyrie posted the link to the movie. It's the fact that the content in the movie, they couldn't allow it to continuously be seen by 6 million people plus. So the movie was, like, maybe let's just say the movie was Hidden Colors. Let's just say he tweeted a link to Tariq Nasheed's Hidden Colors. The Jews wouldn't have cared about that. They don't care about Black people in the Pacific Islands. Oh, we're everywhere. We're here. We're in the Philippines. We're in the Pacific Islands. We're in Hawaii and Fiji. We're here, there, everywhere. No, they don't care about that. They only care about the content and the substance in the movie Hebrews to Negroes. And they didn't want the massive amount of people in America and the world to get a hold of this information, and then it leads them on a rabbit chase of finding the truth now. Because once you get exposed to the truth, then it's like opening up Pandora's box, and they have to stop it immediately so that they couldn't get a chance to even see the first movie, and then see the second movie, and then go to the third, and then go to the books. They had to find a way to stop it in its tracks so that it didn't gain any traction amongst the world, because this kind of went worldwide.
You with you being in the spotlight and you creating so much turbulence, not only within the Black community, but outside of the community, and to the point whereas you have gotten the attention of the elites, you don't feel that your life, and I know, because I've heard you talk about it before, but for the audience sake, you're not basically in fear of your life of these people, because they are already gone to the extremes to try to hinder the process of you getting your work out to the masses, especially with our people, and enlightening and educating our people. I just was listening this morning on YouTube to a gentleman who has a roundtable, and you were the main topic of the discussion. And this gentleman said that you are trying to turn people against the Bible. And now this is the thing that got me. He looked like us. And he's an older gentleman, and he said that you're trying to turn people. Trying to pull it up. You're trying to turn people against the Bible, and by teaching conspiracy theories that don't add up. And
like what? Like what is he talking about? Like what?
But that's just it, though, Dr. Ron. He never address like what he was talking about. The gentleman, he had two other gentlemen at the table. One of the gentlemen said, well, I don't think that's the case. I don't think, because he has your first book. Well, let me show the audience. Hold on. Okay. So he has your first book, which is this one. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Yeah, he has this one. That, sorry for that. But he says, I've looked in the books, and I will have yet to find where the problem is, because a lot of basically what Dr. Dalton was saying is just basically historical facts. He called it genetic facts. He called that you were pointing out that there's no way to debunk it from some of the things that you brought up. So the other gentleman was like, well, I don't see, how, he says that we are the people of the book, or the Israelites, when there's no methodical facts behind it. So he just kept rambling about things that just he didn't have no strong rebuttal. It was just more opinionated thought, and that's what I see a lot that's going on in like the Christian apologetics and things of that nature. I think they're holding more to tradition than they are actual facts, and that's what you are bringing,
Yes.
which is very interesting. So my question to you is, like, when you have people like the ADL and all of the elites who are trying to push and stop you from getting this truth out, where is your mind at? Do you want to quit? I mean, what makes you not want to quit when they're coming for you like this? They're messing with your livelihood as far as your bank accounts and things of that nature. Where are you at with this?
It does get hard to feel like giving up, because like I told, when me and Lawrence did the tweet that changed the world video on H2N TV, I told Lawrence the whole story on what happened prior to the Kyrie incident. There's there's an interesting story that happened before the Kyrie incident, and there's some other things that I didn't tell Lawrence about, some visions and dreams that I had prior to that. But prior to that, I was going through a lot, and being in the continent is not easy, because essentially, when I made the decision to leave America, I quit my job as a PA, as a physician assistant, of like 19 years, making a salary, six figures, medical, dental, vision. I have 9 kids, a wife, and so taking them all the way to Africa, leaving everything behind, uh, leaving my job, was a big thing. And then to get to Africa and South Africa and have the Jews start already campaigning to ban the movie in South Africa and hire lawyers to do that. I was like, wow. I said, as soon as I land here and try to show the movie here in South Africa, the Jews have already hired lawyers to ban the movie in South Africa. And so, all the things that I was going through, I had, prayed to the Most High and said, if 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 you don't help me, I'm going to quit. I said, I know you didn't give me all this knowledge and woke me up and had me write the books and make the movies and do all the things I've done in America and get to Africa and to get to this point. I said, I got a lot of kids. I got to take care of them. I know that the people have woken up from the books and the movies, but I told the Most High, a lot of these things that I'm doing requires money. Um, in America and in Africa, we can't live without money. And if nobody's donating, if we're not making money, then at the end of the day, how can we accomplish these things that we're trying to
Facts.
do?
Facts.
And I just told the Most High, I need some help here. If I don't get no help, at the end of the day, like I sacrifice a lot from my family because you gotta remember all the time that I'm doing Hebrews to Negroes, uh, my family is also sacrificing the time they can be with me, you know, and spending time with mommy, with daddy, and husband. So I don't want to go through all of this and lose my life or lose my family, or lose ability to sustain myself. And so I asked the Most High. He had to step in and show me a sign, and that was 2 days before Kyrie did what he did. Because literally at that moment, like I told Lawrence, I said, I was about to give up, Lawrence. I said, I was about to throw in the towel and say, don't want Hebrews to Negroes. I'm done. And then Lawrence called me and said, guess what happened? I said, what? I just got out the shower. Lawrence called me. I still had a towel on. It was steam in the bathroom, and my hands were wet. And I picked up the phone and I said, what does Lawrence want? Call me in the shower. And he said, bro, he said, guess what happened? I said, what? He said, bro, you ain't see it. It's all over. It's all over social media. I said, what? He said, Kyrie Irving. I said, who's that? And he said, you don't know who Kyrie Irving is? I said, no. He said, Google his name right now. And I Googled it. And I seen that it said that Kyrie Irving posted a link to Hebrews to Negroes and Rolling Stones, and people were like talking about it. And then when I seen that on the phone, I said, oh boy, it's about to go down. And I know the Jews are going to react to this. I said, the Jews are going to react to this. Because I seen how many followers he had on Twitter or TikTok or Instagram. And I said, man, I said, this is the kind of thing that I always wondered. I wondered, was anybody in the world going to run into Hebrews to Negroes, read the book, see the movie, and be so inspired by it that they shared it with their followers, especially if they had a lot of followers. And I said, I wonder if any celebrity has the courage and the balls to do that, when I know that the Jews and the elite, they kind of monitor what they do in the NBA and the NFL and celebrities, But when I seen it, I said, he's not just saying like what Kanye said, that we're the real Jews. Kanye said that. He said we're real Jews. But Kyrie didn't say anything.
He didn't say anything. He just posted.
He just posted it. And that's all he had. That was enough to have the Jews go crazy. And I said it's about to go down. So a lot of things have happened. It's almost like the Most High brings you to a place of like complete lowliness, like to the rock bottom, and then he steps in to help. And although I can't question why these things happen this way, it ain't easy. It's not easy when you're going through trials and tribulations, financially, spiritual attacks, all types of things going on, that you have to endure through these things. And at the end, you have to, sometimes cry out to the Most High and say, hey, I'm starting to get at my lowest point now. You're gonna come in and help me out. Yeah. But I still know that he gave me this gift and these talents and this knowledge for a reason. And I can't just give up. I had to continue to do what I do, because if I stop doing what I do, then who else is going to do it? Who else is, out here challenging the status quo and making people think about certain things in regards to Africa and the land of Canaan, the true Holy Land, the land of milk and honey, and what is the true path that we must take as children of the diaspora. Are we supposed to just stay in America and just kick back and relax our feet and wait for a UFO or a rapture? Or is there anything else that we should be doing right now?
Right.
Because at the end of the day, the two sticks are supposed to come together. When is that going to happen?
Right.
How can two sticks come? How can all the prophecies in Ezekiel 34, 5, 6, 37, 38, how can these come true if it comes true when the Most High creates the new Jerusalem, a new earth, and everything's done? Like the end. Like how can these things happen if it's already the end? So
Right.
I look at these things a little different because that's the only thing right now that we're not doing is coming together and unifying. Spiritually, physically, financially. Our hearts are divided. And I think that it's a spirit of envy, jealousy. I want to be the head leader. Who made Ron Dalton in charge? Who called Ron Dalton? Why does Ron Dalton think he's Moses? And Ron Dalton thinks he's the Most High. Ron Dalton thinks he's the Messiah. Ron Dalton thinks he has all the answers. Ron Dalton thinks he knows everything. Ron Dalton this, Ron Dalton that. They got all this stuff to say, and all I'm doing is doing the footwork and producing content, and they get mad about it, and they talk about it, but at the end of the day, nobody can debunk it. So that's why a lot of the Israelite leaders they don't want to challenge these things on their channels, because then it's going to be a problem, because now on your channel the people are going to see two opposing arguments on a particular subject, and who's going to come out with more facts that's going to resonate in the minds of the people listening. Because once we get the facts and we listen to it, then depending on if we believe the facts, then it can alter and change the course of our actions. Once we start to understand certain things. But as long as we keep hearing the same thing, and we've already agreed and believed to it like many years ago, then as long as your leader keeps telling you, do nothing, do nothing, do nothing, do nothing, keep the Shabbat, keep the feast days, wear your fringes, and that's it. Don't worry. It's going to be okay. And a lot of people are in that boat right now. They see the world getting worse. They see America getting worse, and they don't have nobody has any plans and solutions. Just relax. Just calm down. Like Russia and China, if they attack America, oh well. If the dollar collapses, oh well. If it's the pandemic, oh well. If there's job losses and layoffs and I become homeless, oh well. I don't like that. I don't like that. Oh well, because at the end of the day, I have 9 kids, and I can't just say to my wife, I lost my job. My last paycheck is 2 weeks from now. No more medical, no more dental, no more vision. Oh well. She's gonna look at me like, what do you mean? Oh well, we got 9 kids. How are we gonna eat, Ron? If your last paycheck is in 2 weeks? Our insurance is gone, our dental is gone, our vision is gone. We got to pay rent. We got to pay this. How are we going to do this, Ron? And you don't have a job no more. We can't just say, oh well. We can't just do that. So there's a lot of things we have to start looking at as Israelites in reality in America, and start to plan and prepare for some of these things that are here and that are coming.
Right. Man, listen, I want to, I never told you this before. I've been knowing you for a minute. Listen, I came into this truth in 2017 of September, and my first book that I've ever purchased was your first book that really inspired me. Between you, matter of fact, you was the first, and then you had the Watchman and Deborah, then you had Stephen Darby, but you guys are like the pillows to my awakening. What the Most High used you guys to inspire and enlighten people like me. um you are like the Malcolm X to my era, you know what I'm saying? And I am grateful to the Most High for the the brotherhood, and the passion that you guys share and how you sacrifice. I seen someone put in the chat about the sacrifices. And brother, you have sacrificed to those that don't know. You have sacrificed a lot. You put a lot on the line, for this truth, and I am greatly indebted to the Most High for allowing you guys to do what you do, who inspire people like me to do similarity things to help enlighten our people. There's one thing that I want to kind of talk about tonight, and to those that are just tuning in, I am talking to the legendary author, none other than Dr. Ron Dalton Jr., the author of Hebrews to Negroes, also the author and director of I think it's like 3 or 4 movies. Wake Up, Hebrews to Negroes, Wake Up Black America, and he's getting ready to release. I think the first release that he's already released is it. He released it in Tampa, Florida, which went over well. This what leads us to this segment, this part, which is called "Leave America Behind." So again, we're talking to none other than the author, Ronald Dalton Jr. I wanted you to check out this clip. Let me put up my disclaimer. I don't even know why we put this up, and they it's their rules, and they still they still go against their rules. Hallelujah. But we're gonna go ahead and I want to play this clip right quick.
Attention, everyone. As we are witnessing the decline of America morally, socially, economically, and politically, why isn't there anyone in the black community talking about solutions? Are you convinced that now is the time to start planning and preparing to leave America for Africa? Do you need solid proof that making this move is in line with the scriptures and the will of Yah? Look no further. The time has finally come for another conference put together by Hebrews to Negroes, creator Ronald Dalton Jr., and truth music artist Lorvins, hosted by Morezuma Yahu of Seventh-day Harvest Teaching Ministry. The Leave America Behind 3-day conference will take place in Archdale, North Carolina from December 27th through December 29th, 2024. This conference will be like no other, as we will be addressing current problems in the black Hebrew community and offering realistic solutions. Also on the last day of the conference, Ron Dalton Jr. will be premiering his new documentary movie, Hebrews to Negroes 3, Sound the Alarm, Gog and Magog's army versus the Israelites. With everything that is going on in America, you definitely do not want to miss this conference. Now is the time for a call to action. The Bible says in the book of Proverbs, "A prudent person foresees danger and takes precautions, and the foolish does nothing and suffers the consequences." Register today for tickets at www.thenegronetwork.com. For vendors and any inquiries, email us at hebrewstonegroes@yahoo.com.
Man, that is awesome right there. I can't wait. I can't wait. I can't wait. I see some people that was on there saying, I'm there. I'm there. Listen. So let me ask you this, brother Ron. I think the first one that you had was in Tampa.
No, was it? The
It
first movie,
wasn't.
Now, the first movie is the movie that Kyrie shared. The second movie, I showed it at the Hebrews to Negroes um, Great Awakening Mega Conference in
Okay.
Detroit, I think in 2019. The third movie in that installment, Hebrews to Negroes 3, I shared it at Tampa, well, Lawrence. Uh, and they seen volume 1 and volume 2. It was like 5 hours, a little over 5 hours that they sat through the whole 5 hour movie, at least volume 1 and 2. So this is the third volume that people are going to see uh, on the 29th. This is the Gog and Magog's army versus the Israelites is the name, is the title of that movie. That's what you're going to see. You're gonna need your pen and your notepad, because all the information from the beginning to the end is gonna be facts after facts after facts, and your eyes and your ears and your brain is gonna have to stay in sync to comprehend what I'm saying. If you know the Bible, then you're gonna be in good shape, because you're gonna understand the prophecies of Ezekiel 38 and 20, Revelations 20. And when you look at Gog and Magog's army, it lists nations: Magog, Meshach, Tubal, Gomer, Togarmah, Persia, Cush, and Put. It says this in the Bible in Ezekiel 38. And these are the nations that we have to look out for and be on guard, because the Bible says that in the latter days that all these nations of Japheth and Ham, at least two of the sons of Ham, and some of the nations of Japheth, they're going to come. They're going to leave their country of origin, their land of origin, and they're going to cover the land of the Israelites, the land of Canaan, like a cloud. It says this in Ezekiel 38, and they're gonna wake up one morning or one day with an evil thought, an evil scheme, an evil device in their head, and they're gonna say, "Let us go to the wall. Let us go to the land of unwalled villages, without their dwelling in peace, rest, and safety, neither having bars nor gates." And it says their intent is to steal and rob the land, uh, and all its possessions, meaning the possessions that the Israelites have in the land, livestock, land, and everything that the Israelites acquire when they possess the land of Canaan. It says that these nations are coming with that agenda, and are coming with shields, bucklers, and helmets, and swords. So you know that this is like a army, a military front, and they're not coming to shake hands, to hug, to kiss, to hold, to join arms. They're not doing that. It doesn't say that. It doesn't say that in Ezekiel 3. They're coming with shield, helmet, bucklers, swords. Many people with thee. You know, the Bible, it says many bands with thee. And so we got to understand that these nations, Yah listed their name and their genealogy as it is in Genesis 10 for a reason.
Right.
He gave us their names for a reason. If it didn't matter, then he wouldn't have said the land of Gog, Magog, Meshach, Togarmah, Gomer, Tubal. He wouldn't have said these Persia, Cush, Put. He didn't say Canaan. He didn't say Mizraim. He said Cush and Put. So
Right.
in other nations, so we have to identify who these nations are today. And if we are the Israelites, which we are, then the scripture states that these nations, if we know who they are today, are going to come against us in our homeland. Now, you will see in the movie that it's not going to line up in reality with modern day Israel, but it is going to line up with sub-Saharan Africa. Whether you like it or not, it's going to line up with sub-Saharan Africa, meaning you're going to see who these other nations are, and you're going to say, this seems to be all taking place right now, or the foundations of it is happening right now in Africa.
Mm-hmm.
And if you understand that, then you're going to understand that the Bible is real, the prophecies are real, and the true land of Canaan, we may have been deceived to where we thought it was, and now we may have a better understanding of where it is at, and therefore it's up to you to decide whether or not you want to continue to listen to whoever you're listening to, and either stay in America and wait for a chariot of God, a UFO ship, as a lot of the camps say, or are you going to wait on Christ to rapture you up into the sky, and then he's going to come back. So how many times is Christ going to come and then leave and come back? So there's a lot of things that we all have questions on: a pre-trib, mid-trib, post-tribulation rapture. Do we do nothing? Do we wait for reparations to leave? Do we wait for an angel to gather us from the four corners of the earth? But that's at the end of the Bible. So essentially, you're telling us we have to wait to the end of the Great Tribulation till we get gathered from the four corners. So that means that if you're in America, just sit back and wait for all the plagues, the bowls, the vials, all those, the seven things, the seven sequences to start destroying the earth. And you're going to be sitting here in your house in America, looking at all these things unfold: pestilences, famine, hyperinflation. Because in the book of Revelation, it does talk about pestilences. It talks about a measure of wheat and barley, and it talks about a time where people are going to have inflation and they're not going to be able to afford certain things because it's going to be too expensive. In wars and rumors of wars and tsunamis and earthquakes in diverse places, and men's heart failing them because of fear, and the heavens being shaken, and all types of things are going to be happening at that time. So these are times that we have never experienced, and nor shall we experience these things again, because this is going to be the end. So we're looking at the finale, and the finale is going to be as something the world has never seen and never will see, because this is it. So I mean, if we don't believe in the Bible, then you don't have to worry about any of these things, because you just don't believe in the Bible. But if you believe in the Bible and the prophecies, then you have to be concerned about some of these things, because we live in a world of reality, and things are rapidly progressing. And it's better to be prepared than to be not prepared, because those that are not prepared, when things start going wrong, they're going to start panicking, and panicking is not going to do any good. And when you're just your house has been destroyed, you don't have no money, you don't have no way to buy food, you don't have no gasoline in the car to go anywhere, you're sick but you can't get to the hospital. So there's a lot of things that's going to be happening, and we just have to figure out how we're going to plan and prepare for these things.
I find it to be so fascinating. First of all, it's not hard to believe, because when you look at the statistics or you look at the numbers, Africa is mentioned over 1,417 times more than any other continent in the whole entire world, with Egypt or Mizraim being mentioned over 740 times. So just to hear you talk about these things, and then when you begin to analyze the words such as Cush, such as Ethiopia, it's not just a small country when you're looking at from a biblical aspect. When it mentions Ethiopia, it's not talking about what we know as modern day Ethiopia today. There was a time to where the continent was called, the whole continent was called Ethiopia. And so it, it's so many plugs that they have hid from us and have whitewashed, and it's so hard for us. I heard, I mean, I read one of the statements that one of our brothers and sisters made in the chat, saying that, well, I'm just going to wait on the Most High. You know, I listen, I get that, I understand what you're saying, but I also want you to not be closed-minded to listen to reason or to listen to logic of basically what's happening. A lot of us are saying, you know, well, I'm not going to move. A lot of it's because of fear. A lot of it is you feel me what I'm saying? Hey, let's be realistic. A lot of it we have been so Hellenized through America in the Western world and the things of the Western world, that we feel that if we relocate, if we move, then we're giving up all of those things. But from my understanding, that the continent has just as much, if not the same thing. You know what I'm saying?
Well, if you live in Detroit or Brooklyn or the Bronx or Queens, and let's just say the dollar collapses. The dollar collapses. BRICS unrolls a new system, and the dollar collapses. Now hyperinflation sets in your city. What are you going to do if you can't afford the groceries? What do you do when your currency is collapsed and your money is worthless? And you're in Brooklyn, and you're in Harlem, you're in the Bronx, and there's no farms. You don't have a farm. You don't have goats or sheep. You don't have solar panels. You don't have, your house is not your house because you got to pay property taxes or you got to pay rent. What do you do in that cases? Or even worse than that, what if Russia and China drop missiles in New York City?
Yeah.
Now it's all chaos and pandemonium. What do you do then when people are screaming, they're yelling, they're panicking because missiles are coming out of the sky and dropping down and hitting your cities, and they're on fire? It's like in Lebanon and Palestine. If it can happen in Ukraine, in Lebanon and Palestine, then why can't it happen in America? And when it does happen in America, how can you go to the grocery store when the grocery store has been hit by a missile, and you're hungry, you need to eat, the pharmacy's blown up, your dialysis center is blown up, and you need to get dialysis, but your dialysis center is blown up? What are you going to do? Where are you going to go get dialysis from if your dialysis center is blown out, or there's no electricity, or there's no food, or if the gasoline is ran out of the gasoline centers? So there's a lot of things that we have to think about, and we can't sit there and say, because even the Palestinians, they can say Allah is going to save us, Allah is going to take care of us, but they know when Israel keeps dropping the missiles and people keep dying, are you going to stay in your house and the house next door to you is demolished because a missile hit it? Or are you going to stay there in your house and say, I don't care if both houses next to me have been blown up by missiles, my house is? And you hear the sirens going on, people are screaming, yelling, people are dying, and you're going to say, Allah is going to save me. And then Israel attacks again, drops the missile, boom, and now you're gone. You know, or anything can happen. So we have to understand that we have to see the danger ahead and take precautions. We have to plan and prepare for these things. The Most High wouldn't have said flight, flee, escape. The Most High, well, Christ says these things in the Bible: flight, flee, escape. Well, what are we fleeing from? Why are we taking flight? What are we escaping from? Why did Christ use the word escape?
Right.
Escape what? If we're supposed to sit and wait for the Most High.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Listen, let me see. Ronald Hosey. I hope I didn't slaughter your name. Um, says Africa has problems too. Nothing in scripture says move to Africa before the escape rapture happens.
Okay, so here's the thing about that. Here's the thing about that. Okay, so if 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 the new earth and the new Jerusalem, it says there's going to be no more death, no more sea, no more sun, no more moon, no more crying. This is on the new earth and the new Jerusalem. But that's the new earth, the new Jerusalem. But on the old earth, it says in Revelations in chapter 20 and Ezekiel 38, it says that Gog and Magog's armies are going to come against the Israelites in the holy city. And it tells you that they are coming for war. This is the battle of Armageddon. When the Bible talks about the land of Jehoshaphat or the valley of Jehoshaphat, the word Jehoshaphat means God has judged. What does it say in Joel? It says God's going to judge the nations. It doesn't say God's going to judge Babylon. God's going to judge Assyria. God's going to judge Rome. God's going to judge Persia. No, it says God's going to judge the nations in the valley of Jehoshaphat.
Right.
And when we look at the battle of Armageddon, when we look at Ezekiel 38, these nations are coming against Israelites. They're not coming against the Chinese. They're not coming against the Arabians. They're not coming against the Edomites. They're not coming against the Greeks. In Ezekiel 38, it's talking about the Israelites and the other nations that are going to wage war against the Israelites. If we are the Israelites, is the battle of Armageddon going to take place in America, in Jamaica, in the Bahamas, in Antigua, in Canada? Is the battle of Armageddon is either going to take place in Israel or sub-Saharan Africa? Now, there has to be Israelites in the land in order for them to come against the Israelites. The Israelites is dwelling in peace, rest, and safety with neither bars nor gates and all this other stuff. So when does that happen? When does the two sticks come together? When do we eat and lie down on the fat pastures on the high mountains of Israel? When do we see an increase in man and beast in the land when we are gathered back in the land? When is this? When do we have our refuge and safety on Mount Zion? When does the 144,000 also plant their feet on Mount Zion?
Right.
Does this happen in the new earth, the new Jerusalem? When do the nations get smitten down by the Most High, and the birds and the beasts of the field, they feast on the flesh of these nations that are smitten down by the Most High? And the isles of Magog are all consumed with fire. Why would the Bible in Ezekiel 30 and 39 say that the isles of the Gentiles or Magog, why does it say that these nations, in particular Magog, that they're going to be consumed in fire? Why does it say this? Because that means that people are going to die. So the Most High is going to smite the nations of Gomer and Gog and Magog and Togarmah and Meshach and Tubal and Persia and Cush and Put. The Most High is going to smite them down. He's going to kill them. They're going to die. So that can't be the new earth in the new Jerusalem, because there's no death on the new earth. So It has to be on the old earth, on this earth. And we have to look at the fact that Bible prophecy is going to happen whether we like it or not. So if we're the Israelites and we're all in America, and we say, well, these are all Hamites there in Africa. These are all Hamites. That's not the land at all. Well, then, is the battle of Armageddon going to happen in New York City? Is it going to happen in Israel, when the only Israelites in the land there right now are the African Hebrew Israelites of Damona and the Ethiopian Jews? Is that going to happen there? So these are the things that we're not thinking about, and we're not understanding and using critical thinking and logic. And this is what I'm bringing out in the new movie. Because at the end of the day, the people saying all these things, they're saying all these things in the comments. If I was to ask them today, who are the real Persians? Who are the real sons of Cush? Who are the real sons of Put? Who are the real children of Magog, Gomer, Togarmah, Meshach, Tubal? They're not going to know. If you say, where's the land of God? The land of God. Where is it at? They're not going to know. If you say, who are the Canaanites today? Who are the Canaanites today? Where are they at? What country, what continent, what tribe are they today? They're not going to know. They're not going to be able to tell you. If you tell them, well, who are the children of Japhet today? Who are the children of Japhet today? Japheth had 7 sons. Where are they at today? They're not going to be able to tell you. So the people that's making these comments in the comment section, they don't know it. A lot of them don't even read their Bible enough and study to know the answers to these questions. And it's relevant because out of the 7 nations of Japheth, you'll see 5 or 6 implicated in Ezekiel 38. You can go to Genesis 10 and you can see it. It's there. And out of the 4 sons of Cush, 2 of the 4 sons of Ham, 2 of the sons of Ham are implicated in Gog and Magog's war with the alliances of nations that come against the Israelites. It's in the scripture. They're just not reading it.
Well, Ron, where do you feel that our people are the most vulnerable at, as far as coming together, as far as, because we struggle with coming together, we struggle with humility. Where do you feel that we are the most weakest at?
I think that we, like, the most, like, Christ, when we ask Christ, what are the signs of the end of days? And Christ just said, let no man deceive you. He says, that's like going to your daddy and saying, Daddy, what is the signs of the end of the world? And your daddy just says, let no man deceive you. You're gonna be looking like, what? What does that mean? If Christ explains these things, and we have to understand that deception is a tool that the enemy uses in many ways, and deception can also mean to distract you, like smoke and mirrors, like the magician that does all these things with his hands, and you're like, well, how did he do that? But if you slow it down, then you can see all the smoke and mirrors and how they actually did the magic trick, unless they're a real warlock or wizard. But deception in these days comes in the form of misinformation and incorrect teachings, and incorrect doctrines. And because I think our main problem is that we lack a lot of the knowledge, religious knowledge, because religion is a main stronghold in the Black community and in the community in Africa. The religion, or our religious identity, and the teachings behind religion is a stronghold. And if we don't get the right information, and then when we get the right information from, like, people like myself, and then we reject the information, we say, nah, Ron, Esau's the entire white race. What are you talking about? Nah, Ron, everybody in Africa are Hamites. What are you talking about, Ron? You crazy. Nah, Ron, the glory of all the lands on earth, the large land, the land of Canaan is in Israel, Ron. What are you talking about? If they believe these things, and they say, well, Ron, I don't care what Ron says. I don't care what he says in his books, his movies, and they reject it. They say, hey, Ron's crazy. I don't want to hear what he has to say. Then our problem is that we lack good information from the teachers, and we reject a lot of times the teachers that are teaching the solid teachings that we really should be paying attention to. And then, in addition to that, we don't want to follow a leader. We don't want to be led by anybody. We want to be our own leader. If I say come join and we all come together and let's do this, they're gonna say, well, who made you the leader? Who made you Moses? You know, how do we know everything you're saying and doing is right? I'm gonna start my own thing. I'm gonna become my own leader, and I'm gonna have my own community. I'm gonna have my own group of people, and we're gonna go to Egypt. We're gonna go to Saudi Arabia. We're gonna go to Jordan. We're gonna go to Israel. We're gonna go here, there, everywhere. And by these things, we know that we don't have 10 presidents of the United States. We don't have 10 head coaches. You don't have 10 generals, 10 emperors, 10 kings. You don't have these things. You in the Israelite community, we had a king, and before we had kings, we had judges and we had prophets, and before that, we had great men like Moses, and he led the Israelites. Yeah, you got Joshua. Yeah, you had the 70 elders, but the Most High used Abraham. The Most High used Noah. The Most High used Moses. When Moses died, he used Joshua, and he used leaders. And in many cases, there were one in the timeline of the Israelites. They had one prophet. They had one king. They had, their leaders. And in the Israelite community, we got so many leaders, and they're all teaching on YouTube and in their own assemblies. And as soon as somebody says, hey, I see Ron Dalton movies, and I went to his conference, I got his books. What do you think about this and that, Pastor? Nah, if he's not part of us, don't listen to him. He's a false teacher. Don't listen to him. He's flawed and and they shut it all down. They say, no, we have the truth. Shut up. We have the truth. Don't care what nobody else say. And the camps and other Israelites will say this. They'll say, shut up. Tell them to shut up. We have the truth. We know the Bible. If it doesn't come from us, and thus saith the Lord, then don't listen to it. If they're not a part of us, then don't listen to it. And therefore, we have all these thousands, millions of Israelites that are just like horses with the thing on the side.
Blinders.
Blinders. So you focus only on your Israelite teacher. And then Ron Dalton's over here, and he's saying a lot of compelling things, just making you think. You got to stay focused and look at your teacher. You don't turn your head to Ron or anybody else is saying things that challenge the status quo, because that's a problem. And unfortunately, because of that, we have all these Israelites that don't know where to go, what to do. You ask any random Israelite, you see a brother on the street, he got fringes on. He says, hey, ain't you Ron Dalton? I say, yeah, I'm Ron Dalton. You say, oh, shalom, brother, and all this other stuff. He said, hey, man, let me ask you a question. I said, yes. He said, who was Esau? And I said, who do you think Esau is? He says, man, Esau is the entire white race. And I said, okay. I said, then who was the children of Japheth? And they looked and said, huh? And I said, Japheth. Noah had a son named Japheth. And literally, I've had this interaction with brothers in Detroit all day long. They come to me, brother, you wearing your fringes today? Why'd you wear your fringes? Oh man, you wearing your fringes today, brother? What's going on? Bro? Let me ask you a question. And they ask me the questions, and I sit there and I say, if Esau is the entire white race, let's just name them races: the Russians and Belarus and Poland and Germany and France, Spain, Portugal, Finland, Norway, Sweden. I start naming off countries. The white Arabs. He said, yeah, the Esau. I said, okay, we got all the countries of the world. They're Esau. Who are the Chinese? The Asians. Oh, those are Moab and Ammon. I said, who are the Hamites? Oh, those are Africans. Okay, who are we? We're Israelites. The Latinos, the Israelites. So I said, so everybody in North America, Central America, South America, if you're Latino, and basically what they're saying is, listen to this. Basically what they're saying is that the majority of America, North, Middle, and South, are Shemitic people. We're Shemitic because we all come from the lineage of Japheth. Remember, Esau is the lineage of Isaac. You know, Isaac had Jacob and Esau. So basically, the Latinos and Americans, Black Americans, white Americans, we're all descendants of Isaac. We're all descendants of Isaac. All of us. We're all Shemites. And I say, okay, we're all Shemites. We're Edomites or Jacobites. Then where are the children of Japheth? And I say, let's go to our Bible. And he said, huh? Let's go to our Bible. Do you have it? No. Let's go to the phone. And you list the nations of Japheth. You go Madai, Javan, Magog, Gomer, Meshach, Tubal, Tyrus. She started naming them off. And the Israelites is doing this. He's listening. He said, okay, what are you trying to say here? I say, Javan had a son named Kittim. Who are the Kittimites? Oh, Romans. So who are Javan? Greeks. Okay. I said, so you're saying that the children of Japheth are who again? And they say, the Black Pacific Islanders, the Australian Aborigines. I said, you mean to tell me these Black people in the Pacific Islands, these Black people look like you and me? I said, they're the children of Japheth? He says, yes, Ryan. And I said, so basically, Magog, Gomer, Togarmah, Meshach, Tubal, these nations are going to come against the Israelites in the last days in Battle of Armageddon. This is what it says in Ezekiel 38, right? He says, yeah. So the people in Papua New Guinea, in Melanesia, in New Britain, Solomon Islands, Vanuatu, Hawaii, Fiji, New Zealand, all these Black nations are going to get on their planes and their ships. They're going to get their armies and their guns and their grenades and their missiles, and they're all going to come to where? Israel, America, or Africa, because they're coming against us, the Israelites. Where are they going? Where are they going? And they sit there and say, they're going to Israel. I said, but we're not there right now. So when are we going to get to the land, to Israel? And so when you start to challenge these Israelites, they start to lose it, because now the reality and the critical thinking logic starts to now make sense, even to them. But they can't admit that they're wrong. They can't admit that they're wrong, because they know deep down in their heart that Magog and Gomer and Togarmah and Meshach and Tubal, these cannot be the Pacific Islanders. They got colonized by the British and the Germans and these other white races. They can't be these guys, because a lot of them tell me that they're the Israelites, that they left Africa and went east, on boats. But these are the teachings, these are the false teachings that they teach, that they stand by, and it controls their actions. So that even when you tell them, brother, what is America Babylon? And they say, yes. Is Babylon going to fall? Is it going to be destroyed? And they say, yes. And you say, is it going to be destroyed in 1 day or 1 hour, according to Revelation 18? Well, it says 1 day and it says 1 hour. And it says, and I said, is it going to be consumed in fire? He says, yes, it's going to be consumed in fire, including the great city. And I said, okay, what is Babylon? Oh, Babylon's America. So you're telling me that America is going to be destroyed in 1 hour, in 1 day, and it's going to be consumed in fire. And he says, yes. And I said, but we are here in America. What are you going to do when that day comes? Oh, we have to wait. I said, wait for what? He said, the UFO ships. I said, huh? He said, the UFO ships. And he says, I said, really? He says, yes, we have to wait until the UFO ships come, and they're going to take us from America. I said, okay. I said, all right, if you believe, then we'll just be waiting here till the UFO mothership comes above my house and zaps me up to the sky. You know, and that's what they believe. They believe wholeheartedly. They believe it in their heart, and they teach their kids this. They teach their wives this. They teach their brothers and sisters this. And when they come to these conferences, they be saying shalom and shalom and all this other stuff. But deep inside, you got the whole family, the wife and the kids. You ask them all, like, is the Most High coming to get us? Yeah. How is he coming to get us? UFO ships. I'm like, come on, guys. Like, really? Like, come on, guys.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. For me to hear people like you who are out here teaching this truth, a lot of people thinking, we just supposed to take everything that you guys say and just take it at face value. I think, from my understanding, as a pastor, you put things out to get people not so much to think the way that you think or even believe the way that you believe, but to create some type of critical thinking to the point whereas, as 2 Timothy says, to study to show yourself approved. So I think that as that old saying or that old cliche, to research your research, if whoever is teaching and whatever they're presenting, you owe it to yourself to not just dismiss it, but just to go back and research what is being said. I heard you say in the beginning of this broadcast, if you come to this conference, bring your pen, bring your pad. There's a reason to that, because you're going to hear some stuff that's going to challenge your regular way of thinking. And you need to write some things down so that you can go back and research. And by the way, now, those that know me and know Seventh Day Harvest, we love to live stream. We love to put stuff on social media to reach the masses. Stuff that we can't do just locally, we do it to reach the masses. But at the same time, this conference won't be live streamed. Now Ron may live stream it on one of his platform or his website, but we won't. So you don't want to miss this conference to get the information that he's going to present. This normally, which is shocking to me, Brother Ron, because normally you have people like Benea, you have different folk that are with you on the different conferences and different platforms. But shoot, you by yourself, the Human Encyclopedia, you by yourself is enough, because every time that you bring people, you don't really get to say a whole lot. You just get to say like little portions, little segments, but you got this whole thing, to yourself this time. And so, man, you don't want to miss, family. You don't want to miss.
They like that. When we had the first day of the conference in Tampa, it was 10:30, like 10 o'clock, 10:30, and I was going through a lot of deep information. And I said, well, we're at the 10:30 mark. I said, do y'all want me to? They said we can go another hour, but I know we have to come back tomorrow for day 2. I said, if y'all want to go home now, y'all, we can end it right now. But I said, let me see a show of hands of who wants me to keep going. And they all went like this. They said, keep going, go. And I said, all right, the people demanded it. And I started to go ahead and finish the presentation. And they were in there just looking, and I think Benel was there too. Day 1, day 2, and day 3. And at the movie, the third day, I thought people were going to start leaving after the 2.5 hour mark of the movie. And no, they sat there in the chair for 5 hours, just looking at the screen. And when I showed the same movie that we showed in Tampa in Soweto Theater this year, people said, Ron, like South Africans, they can't sit through 5 hours of movie. It's too long. They're gonna get up and leave. And I said, well, let me decide if they want to leave. So at the end of the first volume, at the two and a half hour mark, I said, okay, this is the chance. If you want to leave, you had enough. If it's too much, you got to go home, then you can leave. You can just go. Or we take a 10-minute break and we can resume volume 2, which is another 3 hours. And they said, no, give us a 10-minute break. We're going to the bathroom, stretch our legs, and we're coming back. And they went and took a bathroom break. They came back and they sat there for the total 5.5 hours. South Africans, they sat there. So we can take in the information if it is important to us. If you look at it and say, oh, I don't have enough of this stuff, you're just going to get up and walk out. So it's not like these things come every other month. We don't do these conferences like 3 to 4 times a year. So, and I'm not here, to do this every other month or every quarter. So when we have these conferences, then just try to make your way out. If you can't, then it's understandable. But it is going to be a lot of things I'm going to share that I cannot really share on YouTube because they ban me from YouTube, and a lot of things that we say on YouTube is filtered. It's filtered. We got this. We can't say certain things. We can't show certain things. But at the conference, we can be real with the people. We can be straight up and let them know. So it's different when we're doing Zooms on YouTube and StreamYard lives on YouTube. But when we're together at a conference, we pay. We're there. We're in a building. And we can say whatever we want. We can do whatever we want and plan, prepare, strategize, come up with solutions. And YouTube and the elite, they don't like it when we come together and start doing these things. So you need to come out if you can.
But here's the thing, though. Lakeisha said something that I thought was vital. She said that when you are hungry for truth, you will sit down and eat, or you will sit and eat. That's true. When you are hungry for truth, and when you want to know, you're gonna sit through it all, and you're gonna basically listen. And I think that's a true statement. But so where are you as far as where do you see us as a nation or us as a people within the next couple of years, if I can ask that?
I think people more and more as things progress in America, I think people are starting to get the hint, and they are getting close to retiring, or they're retired. They have money invested in America or in the bank account, and they just know that it's not a good place to stack all your chips. And they're seeing the moves of the Gentiles and how they're doing a lot of big things in Africa. And if we're not careful, the Gentiles are going to beat us to the punch. But it's still not a hopeless scenario, because at the end of the day, if we come together, we start teaming up, we start forming groups and sticking to the script and the plan, then we can survive the things that are coming. But with AI and job replacement, job shutdowns, pandemics, hyperinflation, inflation, the migrant crisis, any laws that Donald Trump may set in motion, all these things, we can escape it. We can plan and prepare to have a solution, but we have to start now. And starting now, I believe, is to connect with others that are in the continent of Africa, that are laying the groundwork for people to have realistic solutions to start a new life or to relocate to the continent. At least start to plan, prepare. You know, if you have the ability to get a passport, then you can get up out of this country if you have a plane ticket. But the thing is, the Most High is wanting us to do is that He understands that as long as we're divided and we're not united, like the two sticks coming together as one, then working individualistically and as an individual is not helping us. It's not going to help us in the future. It didn't help us in the past. It's not helping us now. But if we come together in our own land and we have community, we're unified, then we can learn how to survive off the land, meaning food, water, and shelter. Because at the end of the day, you know, when I went to Botswana for like 2 weeks, the house that I was in, the only thing that it had that it could have been self-sufficient was that it didn't have solar panels. So the house was hooked up to electricity. It was prepaid electricity, so you pay as you go. But the house had its own septic tank, so all the feces and the urine ran into the septic tank. And then whenever the septic tank, depending how big it is, whenever it gets full, then you got a truck that comes in and can extract the stuff in the septic tank and take it away. And then, you know, we had water from a gigantic tank. So a gigantic tank lasted the whole 2 weeks that my family was there. I got 10 people in my family. And so imagine washing dishes, cleaning meat, cleaning vegetables, washing clothes, using water for the sink, for the toilet. So all the water used for the house was coming out of this large tank of water. We call it a JoJo tank. And you know, granted I didn't have my own garden in the back to eat my own food, but if the house had solar panels, then the house literally is already providing shelter, electricity, water, sewage. And if I had a garden on top of that and some chickens and some livestock, then now I have food. And this was in Botswana. And I didn't, when you have uh, everything you need in Africa and you don't have to pay a utility bill, then and you don't have to go to the grocery store, you don't need money. And then
Right.
the only reason why I really needed a vehicle is to get to the grocery store and back. Other than that, I really didn't use the driver except for to take me to certain areas in Botswana. But every day, if not every other day, I needed a driver to take me to the grocery store. But when you're in a community and you're feeding yourself, then you eliminate the need for cash. And you
Right.
have the shelter, you have the water, you have the sewage, you have the electricity going with the solar panels, and you have everything you need. So in Botswana, each day I stayed there, it felt like I was on a vacation every day because time in Africa, time moves slow. And when you go to other countries there's more rural, rural,
Right.
then you just kind of lose track of time because you're just living life. People are walking down the street, either by themselves with people, other people, or with a dog, and they're just living life, doing what people normally do. And that's how we should start to learn how to be. Because right now in America, these jobs control us. I remember when I used to
Absolutely.
work in the medical field, I used to get up at 5 in the morning to be at work at like 6 or 7. And then when I worked at the clinic, working 9 to 5, I would be in that traffic for like a whole hour, just in traffic, trying to get to work. And then after I get out of work at 5 o'clock, then I'm in traffic coming home in a car for an hour. And then I had to go to the grocery store to get groceries on the way home so I can cook dinner. So it's a constant hustle and bustle in America to pay bills and keep our credit score up. And in Africa, you can start to decompress from a lot of these things, but we cannot do these things and live free unless we leave America. I mean, I honestly think we should be all trying to leave America. But when you come to Africa and you see how the Gentiles are living free, Gentiles are living free over here. They are living free. They are smart because you go to a white man's house in South Africa, he's going to have solar power, the panels. He's going to have a solar panel for his borehole pump. So the borehole provides free water, no water bill, borehole. It's like a well. And in order for the water to come out of the ground, the water can be 30 meters below the ground, 30 meters. So that's like 90 feet. In order to bring the water up from the aquifer on the ground to the surface, you got to have a pump. The pump runs on electricity. They can have a solar panel right outside the tank, the 10,000 liter tank or 50,000 liter tank of water. And the solar panel is powering the pump to bring the water up to the surface that goes into his house, and it goes to his sprinkler system and everything. So they got the solar running. They got the solar running electricity. They got the borehole with free water. Their house is built from the ground up, paid for. They got a farm because their house is sitting on like 5 to 10 acres of land. They got a farm, and they got people from Africa working the farm, and they have these like little shacks that the people that tend to the farm are living in these houses, black people. And then when the white man has land, they plant an orange tree, an apple tree, a mango tree, a pear tree, a banana tree. They have avocado. They have a chicken coop. I've been to a white man's land. I've been to a white man selling a farm, and I said, "What's that over there?" He said, "Chicken coop." I said, "Can I see it?" You go over there, there's chickens and roosters running around. I said, "What's that over there?" He said, "Oh, it's where I have my livestock." And I said, "Oh, okay. What's that over there?" He said, "It's my borehole." What kind of trees are these over here? What's this over here? And he'll show you the whole thing. He's showing you all the stuff. You got solar panels, you got boreholes. The guy's living free. And then I asked the white guy, I said, "Do you pay property taxes?" And the white guy said, "What's that?"
Oh, wow.
And
Wow.
I said, let me explain what property taxes are in America. And I explained it to him, and he said, "No." He said, look at where we're at right now, Ron. He said, "Look at how far it took to get here to my land." He said, "I don't pay property taxes. Is anybody coming to bother me out here?" And I said, "No." And he winked. He went like this. He winked. He said, I'm paying no property taxes here. I'm living free." And all the Dutch people, the Afrikaans, they all have their own community. So I said, "Who stays over there?" He said, "Oh, that's the Van der Weers." "Who's that over there? Who's that over there?" Those are all his friends. And when they come into the land in their little 4x4s, and their kids are in the back seat barefoot, because when the white people are in South Africa, they're walking around barefoot. Even in the grocery store, when they park their car in the parking lot, the kids are all bare feet. They're bare feet from the time they get out of the car to the time they get inside the stores, to the time they leave the stores, to the time they get home. They're walking bare feet on the ground, on Africa, on the soil. They're raised like that. They're raised like that. And when the white people live in their community and their land, and they're driving down their street, their dirt road to get to their house, and they pass the livestock and the fences, they just be waiting. They all wait. they all love one another. They love. That's like me driving in the community, and I say, "Hey, Lawrence. Hey, Zuma. Hey, Banana. Hey. We're all community." But,
right.
And what he told me, he says, we got this large piece of land right here, and we all use it for our animals to graze. And then he says that after the animals eat this land over here, they eat it up, then we move them to the next land. And they eat this land up. We move them to the other land. So we rotate the land that they're grazing on the grass. So once the animals graze all the grass till it's like hardly nothing left, then we move them to another land. And they rotate it. And so this is how they have all these cows, all these goats, all these lambs. They're living free. The white people are. If black people can do the same thing, but our problem is we want to leave living free. We want to move to the city and get a job and rent an apartment, rent a house, and live the American life that we live, just the paying bills and living in a nice high rise or a nice house, paying rent or mortgage. But the white man, he comes to Africa and he starts to live free in Africa. And in addition to that, he sets up many businesses that can keep the income going.
Right.
Yeah. So that's what they do.
So, Brother Ron, will you be interested of coming back in about maybe two weeks? You and Larvins. I see Larvins in the chat room. I want to get to both of you to basically come back because I want to interview you right before the conference. You hear that, Larvins? I want to interview you in a couple of weeks. Maybe
Larvins, he showed me a lot of the plants and veggies that he grew in his backyard.
Uh-huh.
And he showed it to me. I said, man, Larvins, I said, you got like a little grocery store back there. I said, you got like carrots and cabbage and all potatoes and all these different things. I said, Larvins, this thing, he don't just got cucumbers. He got like different varieties of produce.
Right. And
I said, Lawrence, if you were in Africa, man, if you were in Africa, you would be cleaning up right now. all you gotta do in Africa is get a seed and throw it in the ground and water it, and it's done. It's gonna start growing.
The soil is rich.
It's rich. Yeah.
Yeah. Man, you got me interested. You got me intrigued. Look, I'm looking forward to it, man. So you'll be willing to come back in about a couple of weeks? Yeah, you and Larvins. This time I want to bring both of y'all on for a conversation. I know that there are some folk that are still skeptical about what this topic is about Leave America Behind. I know they're skeptical. A lot of them are just scared of the unknown. And like what we basically talked about when we first started, the misnomers about the continent, all of the wild stories that just ain't true, but it sounds good. And for what Hollywood puts out there, you'd rather believe Hollywood than to believe somebody that look like you that lives there.
Yeah. we have to think about that. Abraham Lincoln had a choice to free the slaves and send us back to Liberia, Haiti, and I think another country that was independent at that time. But Abraham Lincoln, they told him, don't you do that, because he was literally going to free the slaves and pay every slave plantation, I think, $1 per slave as something that we're going to compensate you, but we need to send them back because the white race and the black race can't live together. And so they were trying to send us back to Haiti and Liberia and another country. And they told Abraham Lincoln, don't do that. And then when Marcus Garvey came along and had a ship to take us away, and they collectively have bought the ship, and he had the, I don't know how, if the ship was in good condition, but he actually had the ship. He was ready to sail off and bring us back to Africa, and they shut him down. The FBI, they shut him down. So that shows you that they don't want us to leave Pharaoh's house. They don't want us to leave the plantation. They want us to be like that house Negro that got so used to being a house Negro. When the field Negro comes and says, let's separate, you like, and leave this good house? But master, no, I'm not doing anything. I'm staying right here. You go ahead and try to leave. Yeah, so we this is how we are today. And I look at some of these shows, and I think I seen this one show where they asked Chris Brown, they said, what are the most expensive things that you bought in America? He was naming them off: his jet, his houses, his cars. And I was like, man, if Chris Brown took that money to Africa, all the money he spent in America, he took it to Africa, man, you know what he can do with this money? A lot of these celebrities can do big things in Africa, big things, but they don't do it because we believe this is the best place on earth.
Prophet Wilkins said that it's on. He there. Keith Wilkins he said he ready to hear some teaching.
Yeah, boy, I tell you.
So if you don't mind me, Ron, I'm going to do this video one more time before we get off of here. I want to kind of put it in our viewers' ear. And family, don't forget to share, push those like buttons to help with the algorithm. I noticed that we were up to 200 and then it dropped all the way down. So somebody punching them numbers.
Attention, everyone. As we are witnessing the decline of America morally, socially, economically, and politically, why isn't there anyone in the black community talking about solutions? Are you convinced that now is the time to start planning and preparing to leave America for Africa? Do you need solid proof that making this move is in line with the scriptures and the will of Yah? Look no further. The time has finally come for another conference put together by Hebrews to Negroes, creator Ronald Dalton Jr., and truth music artist Lorvins, hosted by Morezuma Yahu of Seventh-day Harvest Teaching Ministry. The Leave America Behind 3-day conference will take place in Archdale, North Carolina from December 27th through December 29th, 2024. This conference will be like no other, as we will be addressing current problems in the Black Hebrew community and offering realistic solutions. Also on the last day of the conference, Ron Dalton Jr. will be premiering his new documentary movie, Hebrews to Negroes 3, Sound the Alarm, Gog and Magog's army versus the Israelites. With everything that is going on in America, you definitely do not want to miss this conference. Now is the time for a call to action. The Bible says in the book of Proverbs, a prudent person foresees danger and takes precautions, and the foolish does nothing and suffers the consequences. Register today for tickets at www.thenegronetwork.com. For vendors and any inquiries, email us at hebrewstonegroes@yahoo.com.
Family, get your tickets today. Get your tickets today. Go to Hebrews to Negroes Network.com. Hebrews to Negroes Network.com. Get your tickets. Register today. We only have a limited seating up to 300. So make sure you get your tickets today. All praises to the Most High. All praises.
Yeah, they got to do that, because some people say, well, Ron, when are you gonna stream the movie? I said, I don't know, but you guys need to try to make it out and get your butt down here.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know. People like to sit back and just wait. So, you know, I don't know. I think it's good to take a vacation and get out for 3 days and it's a weekend. It's during the holidays, so people can really, start saving now or whatever they got to do. Just get your butt in the building. You can stay at the Red Roof Inn. You can stay at the Holiday Inn. You can stay somewhere. Just delay your head, and then when it's time to get up to come to the venue, come to the venue, and then just do what you got to do.
Yeah. Yeah. And I like to say this also, family. I know that some of you might say, that may be a little bit steep, but if you save your money right now, put away that McDonald's and whatever restaurant that you go to, just put it to the side. This is like he said, like he said, is this is not something that happens every month. The last time I believe Dr. Ron and I know Dr. Ron, I know Larvis was here maybe a year and a half ago, and then Dr. Ron was here, man, 5 maybe 6 years ago. So it ain't like it's coming like every month. So this is an event that you don't want to miss. You want to put it on your calendar. This brother funded the money himself. If anybody know anything about putting biographies together, any type of media videos, it takes work, and then for him to put in hours of work for this particular movie. Listen, family, don't even think about it. Just do it. That's my thing. And you owe it to yourself to hear what the man of Yah has to say to the people of Yah. I'm excited. I know 7 Day Harvest is excited. Man, we are ready to hear a word from the Most High. We're ready to break bread with you.
I am too. I can't wait to be there. Can't wait to be back. You see, Lorva, I ain't seen Lorva's in about a year, so
oh wow,
be good times. Good times, yeah.
Yeah, look, y'all be everywhere, man. Y'all are busy. Y'all like Pastor Wilkins. Pastor Wilkins travel all over the country, digging up different evidence on stuff, man. And here you are. Let me say this also, family. If you haven't gotten your copies of Hebrews to Negroes, I wish I didn't have that thing up right now. But if you haven't gotten your copy, I can't even show it. He won't even allow me to show it. Your copy. If you ain't got your copies of these books, I got all 4 volumes of Hebrews to Negroes, Wake Up Black America. I got all 4 volumes. If you haven't even got your first one, please go to Hebrew to Negroes .network. Did I say it right? Hebrews to Negroes network .net.
The Negro Network.com. The Negro
Yes.
Network.
Go there, get those books. Also, you can get them on Amazon as well. Get it. If you don't get nothing but one, get it. It helps put back into Ron's pocket. It also helps him feed them babies.
You know that in South Africa, the bookstores, they all said no to the book. They all said,
"Are
no.
you serious?"
Yeah, I tried. They all said nope. They said I submit the application. I sent them the books. They reviewed it. They said nope, no sir. So the only way you can get it is on takealot.com. Takealot.com. But yeah, they it's a lot of gatekeeping in South Africa. But the people that have got the books, they're like just going crazy, like asking questions, asking their pastor. The pastor is saying, like, you got people talking all day about this book, asking me questions I can't answer. Like, you see what you done by giving this book to my wife, giving this book to sister so and so. You gave her this book, and now they asking me questions I can't answer. You don't started it, Ron. You don't started something.
But see, I think that's the problem. And they labeled the book anti-Semitic. There's nothing in this book that's anti-Semitic.
Right.
And so it's because of what's in that book, the information that is in that book that is waking up a certain people. That's what they don't want, because if that people wake up, then the power in which the powers that be have, they will no longer have that same power. You know, because Claire, when I began to read that book and when I began to come into this truth, I don't even look at things the same anymore. It's different. You know what I'm saying? So I'm grateful to the Most High for you, for Larvins, for Pastor Wilkins, all of you guys that are out there, Watchmen and Deborah, who are doing the work, that are putting that work in, man. I'm grateful to the Most High for that, because we need it as a people. You know, we desperately need it. We as J. Edgar Hoover says, that we don't want another black Messiah unless we create it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we if that ain't telling you anything, they want their hand in the pot. If they created this book and had some Oscar Nazi name on it, or something that said that they created it, it wouldn't be no problem.
No.
But due to the fact that a man of copper tone has created this, and he's brought out the receipts and put it in a book, there is a problem. And now to me, they done messed up, because what they should have done was left Kyrie alone and, and left Kanye alone, and just said, you know what, they just crazy. It's a conspiracy. But when you go after them for no reason, you ain't helping the situation. You ain't hurting the situation. You helping the situation. So I'm grateful to the Most High. He has a plan. He has a ram, and you that ram in the bush, Brother Ron. And I'm grateful to the Most High for that, man.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm going to let you give the final remarks, and then we're going to sign off and get out of here. But I definitely want to bring Larmans back in a couple of weeks, so that we can prep up, get ready for this conference on December the 27th through the 29th. We're looking forward to that. Your final remarks.
Yeah, so for all of those that want to follow the teachings that I do, and you can go to h2mtv.com, h2mtv.com, h the number 2 and tv.com. Recently had another one of my YouTube channels deleted. I think it's like the third or fourth YouTube channel that I've created, and it doesn't last long. They just keep deleting my channel. So this is what I have to deal with. So thankfully with h2mtv.com, I can put out all my content, all the movies, even the ones that Amazon rejected, that you guys can't see on Amazon. You have to go to h2mtv.com. And if you don't want to go to h2mtv.com and subscribe, then you can always sign up to the email blast list. So you go to www.h2mtv.com website, then you can subscribe to the email blast list. So then anything that I do, you'll get the email blast notification, even if they took me off everything: Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube. If they just put a complete ban on hearing my words and speaking, then at least you'll stay in contact with the things that I'm doing in America, in Africa, on H2M TV. So these are some of the things that we should all be doing, is capturing the emails of everybody that follows us. These are the things that they don't allow filmmakers and content creators on YouTube, on Netflix, on Amazon. Any customer on Amazon or Netflix, the filmmaker does not get the data, the email of the people that's been buying their movies. They don't get that, because I know for a fact that these are the things that we don't get to collect. So this is how they maintain the power. Because if I'm a filmmaker and say I'm Spike Lee or Tyler Perry, and I have my movie on Netflix or Amazon, or 50 Cent has this stuff on Stars, then they don't give you the emails of all the people that stream and subscribe to your, to the channel. The things that, like, if Power is on Stars, you think when anybody subscribes to Stars just to see Power, that 50 Cent gets the email? No. You think that anybody that looks at Tyler Perry's movies on Netflix, that any person that streams his movie, Tyler Perry, gets their emails? No. Same thing with Amazon. Same thing with YouTube. You can have 3 million followers on YouTube, like Candace Owens. But if Candace Owens was to lose her channel today, she doesn't have 3 million emails of all her followers. She doesn't have 3 million emails of all her followers. She don't have it. So this is how YouTube and these Gentiles control our ability to stay in contact and market and advertise to each other outside of their systems. They control the systems and they don't want us to get the data. So you can get to a million subscribers on YouTube, and you don't have not one email of your subscribers. So if your channel just got deleted tomorrow, how are you gonna stay in contact with them unless they know that you can create another channel and they see your new channel, they subscribe to it? But in the case of myself, a lot of people only see me on YouTube by way of Lorphins and Ashonda and you. So if that's the case, then all the people that's been following me, purchasing the movie and the books over the years, looking at my YouTube videos over the years when I had a channel, I need to have your email, and we need to stay connected as Black people, even the Gentiles and these nations. They control us by having all the platforms that we use to share information and market and advertise, but they only let us have certain things. And it benefits them more than it benefits us. Because at the end of the day, if we had the emails of all the viewers or subscribers on our platform, then we will have a lot of power. Because there's a lot of Israelites that are posting videos and they're getting 50,000 views, 80,000 views, 20,000 views on one video, and they're doing this on a daily basis. Imagine if we had their emails. Now we have a database of 1 million people or more that we can say, okay, we're doing a conference, we're doing this, we're doing that, we're doing this, we're doing that. We send out an email blast. They don't want us to do these things. That's why they don't allow us to have the access to get these emails. And I urge everybody that subscribe. You can either go to the NegroNetwork.com, to H2NTV.com. And when we do conferences, luckily when people register, I get all the emails of the people that register for the conference. So, unless people come at the door, they pay. I have, for the most part, all the emails of people that came to the conference. So then I can email you guys again if we do another conference next year or in another state that you live closer to. So so that's important, and I think that's about it for me.
So Ron, you live in Johannesburg?
Yeah, Johannesburg. Yeah.
Okay. So someone wanted to ask where you stay in this Johannesburg.
Yeah, South Africa, Joburg.
Oh, okay. And also, this is what Pastor Wilkins says. I said in the scholar history class, and I asked them about Ron's books, and they gave a 4.7 out of 5 stars. These are white scholars saying it's accurate.
Yeah, this Nigerian guy, a friend of mine, he asked ChatGPT. He said, "Who has more of a compelling argument about black people being the Israelites, Ron Dalton, or I think he named out some others. And Chat GPT said Chat GPT said Ron Dalton has more compelling evidence and argument to support that Black people are the true Israelites. This is what Chat GPT said. And
Wow.
Chat GTP pulls from a lot of databases because it's like AI. So it's like pulling from everywhere, the whole internet, and looking at everything. And so they even Chat GTP will start to tell you the truth about certain things in regards to even when you ask Chat GTP based on the characteristics and description of the land of Canaan, where would that be today in the world? And guess what? Chat GPT will tell you that it's Africa. So when you give Chat GPT and question based on the description of the land of Canaan in the Bible, where does that likely fit today in today's world? And is it Israel? Is it America? Is it Africa? And Chat GPT AI will say Africa.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That is amazing. So, Pastor Wilkins says, I'm bringing my wife to see Ron Dalton live, and after that, I don't owe her nothing for the year. And Lauren's going to be there too. She's going to think she's grown. So, man, I appreciate you taking your time out because y'all were like 9 hours ahead of us, right?
7 hours, seven.
Okay, so here it's like 20 till 3. What time is it there?
It's 9:30 here.
9:30. Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, bro, I appreciate you, man. I really do. And like I said, I want to do this again in about 2 weeks. So I'm going to reach out to you and Larvin so that we can get on one accord to kind of gear this conference up, because I know a lot of people want to come. And a lot of people really still don't know. So I want to get
if I was there, I would be passing out flyers at barbershops, churches, schools, because that's in Detroit. That's what I do. Whenever I have a conference in Detroit, I pass out flyers at the soul food restaurants, the beauty salons, the barbershops, the churches, the university. I just pull up where people are leaving church and coming to church, leaving the salon, leaving the barbershop, leaving school or outside of school, and I just start handing out flyers. Or I'll go in the community and just start passing out flyers in the community, because I used to see patients in Detroit. I used to go to the houses, different houses, and so I know the areas and I know the churches. And you just go in there, even if the church is not open, you just leave the flyer in the drop box, or just do certain things. Even in some of the parking lots, you got to be careful in the parking lots, because they can say you're loitering and all that sort of stuff. But if you're there's ways to get it out there other than social media. But I do all I can, because people need to hear this message. They need to see the movie, and how else do they know unless they get notified?
Right. Pastor Wilkins said, will Ron have books on sale while he's there?
No, that's because I don't. I'm coming in a vehicle, and I already got a lot of kids that's going to be in the vehicle. So, and I got luggage, and I mean, those days I don't do it anymore. I used to tell people to go to Amazon or go to the negronetwork.com and then get it that way, because it's hard to lug it. Those books are like this thick.
Yeah,
they're heavy.
Yeah, they real thick. They real thick.
They're not little books.
Yeah, they got a lot of information in it though. A lot. But thank you, bro. I appreciate you. Toda Robah to you, to Larvins, to Pastor Wilkins, to all of you who are out here doing your thing and informing our people of this truth and this enlightenment. Man, I know I don't take it for granted, and I know there's a lot of people that are listening to this live stream. They don't take it for granted. You got to take the good with the bad, when it comes to this walk, because everybody's not happy with what you're doing. They feel like if it ain't me, then it ain't gonna be successful and it ain't doing nothing. But I like to support my people, especially when I know there's for a good cause. All praises. So thank you, bro. I appreciate you.
No, I appreciate you. I mean, you're allowing us to do this. If otherwise, we'll be doing it in Tampa again or Detroit or somewhere else.
Hey, bro, you already know our place is always open to you guys, man. Yeah, listen, we trying to do the same thing. We trying to, educate our people, inform our people, give them this information. Knowledge.
Yeah, here's the thing. Like me and Lawrence, we can come to other states, but you guys got to tell us that you got a congregation. You could be a Hebrew pastor and have a congregation in Alabama, in Mississippi, in Arkansas, in Atlanta. Because when me and Lawrence are together, sometimes we run into pastors that they recognize us, and they say, "I got a church in Alabama, I got a church in Florida, I got a church in Tennessee," and they email us. They email us, but unless we know that you have a location that you can host us, then how can we know when to set up a date and to schedule a conference in your state? It's we don't have, we can't read minds. We don't know who has the congregation and an assembly and where can we host the conference, because we can hit many different states. All of this is us driving to that state. You just got to drive to the state and just pull up and then have a conference. That's it. So
Right.
Whether it's New York or Chicago or St. Louis or South Carolina or Alabama or Texas, we just need a venue. We get tired of paying the Gentiles thousands of dollars for a venue, and we got to start opening up our doors so that we can do a lot of these things in our states, because people in our states, they might need to hear this too. Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana, Texas,
Absolutely.
Florida, yeah, California. I mean, but I only know a certain number of people like Lorvin. So if you do want us to come, just email me at HebrewsToNegroes@yahoo.com. Hebrews TONegroes@yahoo.com, and then we'll try to make it out there.
Fresh Springs 98 asked, will you sign the books if they bring them?
Yep, I'll sign it with this right here.
All praises. All praises. Well, hey, bro, I'm looking forward, and again, we're gonna push it. I'm gonna go Friday, and I'm going to have flyers and things like that printed up so I can put them on cars and put a team together. So like I used to do when we was in the Christian church, and we used to do the street evangelistical teams, and they'd go out and put flyers. Yeah. So
I did that. I did that in Soweto. I did that in Soweto.
Okay.
I stood there with a team. Me and some people stood we stood in the street, handing out flyers in Soweto. And people might say, "Oh, don't go to Soweto. Don't go to Soweto. It's the hood." We went down there and we were passing out flyers. Even after church on Sunday, people were walking out of church, walking everywhere. We just here. Yeah.
And then, well, that's what I'm gonna do, bro. That's what I'm gonna do. Like I also play for first day of the week church. So I'm gonna pass the flyers out to them as well. So yeah, I'm gonna get that flyers out there, because our people, even the ones that are asleep, those ones that are still in the Christian church, they need to know as well. You know, so we want to definitely not discriminate, get it out there.
Yeah.
Hallelujah.
Exactly.
Well, hey, bro, look for me. I'll be contacting both you and Larvins in the next couple of weeks to send you the invite, and we'll figure out what the topic gonna be. Of course, I know it's gonna be about this conference. So all praises to the Most High.
All right.
All
No
right.
problem.
All right, family. So we say shalom to you. We thank you so much for tuning in, and again, thank you for your prayers, and please pray for Brother Ron, his family. Pray for Brother Larvins, all those that are out here in the vineyard that are swinging that axe, getting that word to the people, getting that information, educating our people, those people that are chasing our history and making our research a little bit easier. They're doing the hard work. So I say kudos to them, and I salute them for all the hard work that they do. And listen, if you haven't done it already, share this video, share this information to everyone that you know, your loved ones, your friends, those people that are part of your circle, those people that are outside your circle. Even share it with your enemy. We want the seats filled. We want those people who need to hear this information, because this is a life-changing event, and we want you to be in the house to hear, because it won't be live streamed. It will not be live streamed. So we want you to be there. We want you to come in. There's hotels that are available that are in the area that are not too far, right down the street from the assembly. So you don't have to go far. There are restaurants there. Of course, we plan to serve food there as well. So, I mean, it's a whole lot that's going to be going on that whole weekend, and we're looking forward to the fellowship, especially the fellowship. So let me do this one more time. I'm gonna put this up, which is our warning. Our FBI fair use allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion picture, videos, tapes, or videos, discs under certain circumstances without authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use, and it allows for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and priority, which does infringe of copyright under section 17 USC 107. Hallelujah, all praises. And then
Attention, everyone. As we are witnessing the decline of America morally, socially, economically, and politically, why isn't there anyone in the black community talking about solutions? Are you convinced that now is the time to start planning and preparing to leave America for Africa? Do you need solid proof that making this move is in line with the scriptures and the will of Yah? Look no further. The time has finally come for another conference put together by Hebrews to Negroes, creator Ronald Dalton Jr., and truth music artist Larvins, hosted by Morezuma Yahu of Seventh-day Harvest Teaching Ministry. The Leave America Behind 3-day conference will take place in Archdale, North Carolina from December 27th through December 29th, 2024. This conference will be like no other, as we will be addressing current problems in the black Hebrew community and offering realistic solutions. Also on the last day of the conference, Ron Dalton Jr. will be premiering his new documentary movie, Hebrews to Negroes 3, Sound the Alarm, Gog and Magog's army versus the Israelites. With everything that is going on in America, you definitely do not want to miss this conference. Now is the time for a call to action. The Bible says in the book of Proverbs, "A prudent person foresees danger and takes precautions, and the foolish does nothing and suffers the consequences." Register today for tickets at www.thenegronetwork.com. For vendors and any inquiries, email us at Hebrews to Negroes@yahoo.com.
All praises to the Most High. All right, bro. I appreciate you. And as I sign off, I'd like to again say thank you, Toda Rabah, for taking time out of your busy schedule to just drop in and just have a conversation. I appreciate you. And tell your beautiful Isha that we said hello and we send our love from North Carolina.
All right.
All right. Shalom.
Shalom, shalom.
All right, family. So as we get ready to sign out, I just want y'all to know that we are trying to get this word out to our people, trying to enlighten them, show them that there is a whole lot to this society that we don't know. And then the Most High is placing people like Dr. Dalton and others out in the vineyard and getting that work in. So we're looking forward to that. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. I'm looking kind of sidetracked, trying to make sure that this thing signs out right. It's been a while, y'all, since I've been on here. But yeah, we love y'all and stay up. Shalom, shalom.